If you are not manifesting every single day, you're not living life how you should be. And I know a lot of people in general don't believe in manifestation. Maybe it's because of those stupid books that tell you, every night drink a gallon of water and manifest and it'll work. But at the root of it, manifestation is, I would say, it's a requirement for you to succeed. And first, let me define what I think manifestation is. I think manifestation is envisioning your goals every single day. And the difference between manifestation and working toward the goal is obviously with manifestation, you don't need to worry about the logic. You don't need to, you don't need to worry about, okay, how am I going to end up with $1 million? What you do need to do with manifestation is you need to envision it. Even though there's no logical path, you don't know how you're going to make $1 million. The prerequisite is that you can actually see the $1 million in front of you, right? And I mean this on such a deep level. It's not just about like closing your eyes and imagining $1 million. It's it's literally acting as if you already have that $1 million, you know. And obviously that's a bit of an exaggeration, but that's how you need to do manifestation. Is you really, even though it's not in reality like a water bottle or anything, you need to be able to see it enough that it becomes a part of your daily life. And when it becomes a part of your daily life, not only will you start feeling better, will your mindset start to improve, but your actions and your behaviors will start to match that kind of lifestyle. If I wanted to be a serial entrepreneur who made $10 million every single month, which is not my end goal, but if that's what I wanted to do, and then I would manifest it. I would manifest the $10 million so strongly that I would act like I have the $10 million. And how do you act like you have $10 million? Well, you would probably wake up, you would start getting to work right away. You would try and optimize your life. You wouldn't do the same old habits that you're doing right now. And that's why manifestation is so powerful, because even though you don't have a clear path ahead of you, like planning it out, what you do get is a huge mindset shift, and everything starts from the mind. If you have a huge mindset shift, what ends up happening is that your behaviors change, the way you speak changes, the way you act changes. And like for me, I think I'm qualified to speak on this because I have literally manifested everything I've wanted so far. Obviously, you don't manifest something once. You manifest, you achieve, you manifest again. But for me at least, I wanted to manifest making $10,000 a month. I remember this super vividly. It was I just graduated high school, but it was 2 years ago or 1 year ago where I manifested, okay, I have no clue how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna make $10,000 in 1 month. No logic, by the way. I didn't plan like, okay, this is what I need to do, blah blah blah. All I did was I really manifested it. And at first it was delusion at first, you know, when you're at that time, I was just a gamer. Like I literally go to school, go home, do some homework, study a little bit and play games and work on some side projects, right? So, like I traded crypto and I failed miserably. But at first it was delusion. But what ended up happening was that delusion was so strong that it forced my mind to change. It forced my mind to adapt, to kind of shift into the mind of someone who makes $10,000 a month. Um, I went from being super lazy to literally gooning, gaming, like all the bad habits you could imagine, basically being a chud, to one day I started waking up and I was like, okay, like I genuinely had an existential crisis because by that point my mindset had already shifted enough. I was like, okay, it's like I became a new person. I was like, okay, how am I living like this right now? I don't even like living like this anymore. I don't like playing games. I don't like gooning. It's really all just bad habits, more like addictions at this point. And luckily for me, I wasn't too deep into it. And my manifestation was strong enough that I was able to break those habits and become a completely new person, um, basically instantly. Obviously, it did take some time. It took a few months. I remember it started off me fixing my basic habits with my life, whether that's going to the gym or eating healthier, or instead of doom scrolling while I'm eating, I just watch some random like video essay, and even that helped me a little bit. Everything starts from the mind, and it trickles down to your actions, it trickles down to your behaviors, and it trickles down to your habits. And eventually, that all compounds and gives you the ability to take the next opportunity. That's what happened to me. As soon as I started fixing my, as soon as I shifted my behaviors, because I manifested, I was presented with an opportunity. Right, my friend put me on to this thing called UGC. I don't know if anyone watching knows it. Put me onto this thing called UGC, and at that point, my mindset had already developed enough to where I was like, okay, no clue what this is, but I'm gonna give it a shot. I gave it a shot, and I saw some success, and because I had manifested, $10,000 a month, I was like, okay, I still don't know much about UGC, but I'm gonna try and scale it, scale it, scale it. I didn't have the goal of $10,000 a month, by the way. That wasn't manifest. I did it like I didn't plan I was gonna make $10,000 a month. I was just saying, I'm gonna take it and see how far it can go. Literally just for the fuck of it. No huge goal in mind, no, set plan like month one I'm gonna do this, month two I'm gonna do this. All I did was I'm gonna see how far I can take this because I was internally motivated. I manifested so hard that it stopped being about the goal of $10,000 a month and it started being about the type of person, the type of mindset that makes $10,000 a month, right? And because I did that, I was able to scale that. I was able to scale UGC to $10,000 a month. And it's so surreal because this is just my opinion and it's not really important to the topic. But with manifestation, at least for me, you don't realize it. Like it's especially if you've manifested hard enough, even when you achieve that thing you've manifested for, you don't really realize it. And you see it, but you don't realize, you don't internalize how you literally achieved what you wanted, even though you were not logical. You didn't have some clear plan. Obviously when I was scaling, I had plans, but did I plan from the beginning, like here's how I'm gonna make 10K a month? Not really. I really started by manifesting it. So that's what happened. Is eventually I scaled it, made $10,000 in 1 month doing UGC, and I saw the money in my bank account and I was super happy, but I never even internalized that I basically made 10,000 because I manifested it and I was delusional about it for so long. That only hit me recently, and it's not the first time this has happened to me. I've always been manifesting stuff, and I think that's my little ability is I can manifest stuff passively, but now I kind of realized it. I manifested having more independence, becoming a better person by being more social, by being more independent. And guess what happened? I somehow moved out of my parents' house as soon as I graduated high school. Um, is it because I'm dirty rich? Not really, but it's because my manifestation, it went from delusion of oh I'm gonna be a more like I'm gonna be a better person by being more social and independent. Did I have a plan on how I was gonna do that? Hell no, but that delusion kept feeding through my mind, and eventually I kind of absorbed it. It became part of who I was. That's why I started thinking, okay, I really want to be independent. And then just like a light bulb switch, oh, let me move out, right? I didn't plan that I was going to move out, but the manifestation kind of led me there. And that's why it's such a powerful tool because everyone, online or all the business people, all the gurus, everyone starts off by saying the basic stuff that everyone logically knows. If you have a goal, make sure you reach that goal by setting plans, by setting routines, blah blah blah. We all know that internally. It doesn't help for someone to say that 1,000 times over, even though you think it might. What really works for me is kind of flipping the script. Instead of starting with the behavior, starting with the habits, leading to the goal, I started with the mindset. Not about mindset in this case is just believing it and adapting my character traits to that goal I have. Shit. $10,000 a month. Okay, the type of person who makes $10,000 a month, probably a bit more hardworking, can probably take care of their diet, isn't a fat fuck, etc. Has some routines, right? I started with that. Started with the core character traits, and I did that through manifestation. Once you have the core character traits, the behaviors, the habits, no problem. Because if you're already that type of person, then what does it matter that you need to adopt? It's like, okay, both of my parents are Asian. Do I have to be worried about being white? Not really. Like, obviously I'm gonna be Asian. If I'm already a disciplined person who is locked in enough to set routines when he needs to, then it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's at that point it doesn't become about, okay, I have to do the surface level stuff like waking up at 5 a.m. and taking a cold shower. No, it just becomes about when I have work to do, I'll just do it because that is now my character. That's what manifestation is. Manifestation is um, it's pretty logical, but it's also not logical because it's logical that you start from your inner self, and that kind of shows in your reality eventually. But it's not logical in that you don't set any plans. You can't really control it. You can't say like, okay, I'm gonna manifest $1 million, and then I'm gonna manifest tomorrow I get an offer from someone, and then the day after I'm gonna scale my business. Like, that's not really how it works. Manifestation is just starting from yourself, and that's one step of the puzzle. You start from yourself. When that dumb quote about cultivating your own garden instead of chasing the butterflies kind of applies. When you build your own garden by manifesting, you solved one piece of the puzzle. After that, it's just waiting for the butterflies to kind of come, which means waiting for an opportunity to come your way and maximizing that opportunity. And to anyone who's in a bit of a pickle right now, I think I had a pretty chud life, fat, fat, ugly, unmotivated gooner. I think that is a lot of people right now. I don't know how many. I hope the people who watch my video are the people who are like that, like they're that chud gooner lifestyle, like I was, but they have the self awareness. They have enough self awareness and enough consideration to look at this video and be like, okay, let me try that, because I'm pretty sure if anyone determined and self aware enough tries this, and really tries to manifest, it's not about an opportunity coming to them tomorrow. It's about it's about them being ready for the opportunity. And at that point, if they're ready for the opportunity, then they're gonna chase the opportunity themselves. And yeah, um, that's it for today, I guess. Manifestation is pretty powerful. I'm manifesting up some crazy stuff in my life in the next few months. And the crazy thing is, I'm not phased by it. I'm not excited. I'm not sad. I'm not happy. Because with manifestation, it's in your reality. Why would I be happy about this water bottle being right here? It's already there, right? What's the point of what's the point of manifesting what you already have? And it's like a crazy loop. Even though you don't have it, you manifest enough so that you think you do have it, and that makes you feel like, okay, shit, well, you're not attached, but then you still end up getting it anyways. And that connects with like the law of detachment, which I will get into another video. I don't think I've experienced enough to talk about the law of detachment. But with manifestation, I've definitely manifested some crazy stuff in my life, some crazy specific stuff, $10,000 a month. I manifested getting the exact girlfriend I wanted. I manifested getting the exact, kind of lifestyle I wanted, improving my style, whatever. So, yeah, that's it.